Okay, so here's today's assignment. We're going to learn the clone stamp tool. And remember, we're not using Photoshop, but we're using this free program, and the link is right here. It's freephototools.com. So if we click on that, it will bring us to this, and it's Photopea. We're going to click I already downloaded this man picture. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn the stamp tool, and you're going to um, stamp this man out of the mountain. So here he is, and then here he is not. Okay. Let's go back and open from computer, man standing on top of mountain. And then we're going to click on this clone tool. There might be the brush tool might be on top, but see these little arrows right here? Those little arrows show that there's other tools underneath. So if you click and hold down, go to the clone stamp tool and click on that. And then also we want to zoom in and see what we're working on. So right here is the magnifying glass. And on your options bar up here, you've got the minus or the plus. So that would either be zooming in or zooming out. We want to zoom in. So we just go to on the picture and click. And let's say, okay, I zoomed in a little too much, go to the minus and just click one out. And let's go back to that stamp tool. And what we're going to do is basically we're just going to kind of like pick up some of the pixels that are right here, and we're going to put them on top of this man. So we're going to be holding the option key on our keyboard. And if you don't have an option key, you can use the letter K, and it will do the same thing. All right, so I'm clicking here. Basically, it's just like think about a stamp. Like you're basically taking your stamp and stamping it into the ink pad, and this picture is your ink pad. And then we're coming over here and we're going to click. And what it's doing is it's starting to take the pixels that were from here and putting them over here and hence making the man disappear. And I'm clicking multiple times. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get it so it's seamless, and it doesn't look like we replaced the man. So like if I took a sample from down here and then went up here, that wouldn't look that great, right? Because that's, that color is down here, not up here. So I'm going to go over here. Here's a new thing in our history. This kind of just tracks everything that you've done. If I start to click up, it starts to take it away, the things that I've done. Okay, so this is like your undo button, but it just kind of keeps track right here. All right. Well, again, I'm going to come down over here, and I'm going to start to stamp. And then I'm going to come from this angle over here, and I'm clicking and getting some of those pixels and move up a little bit so I can see what I'm doing here. And we don't want to just keep using the same pixels, because then it will look like you literally just painted it. Here it's pretty smooth, so I kind of did a little bit more than I normally would, but meaning I would paint like this. So this is something I normally wouldn't do as much. I would more click and then cover, click and cover. And did you notice that the man's legs kind of like reappeared a little bit because I wasn't doing that? All right. So one of the other things that we're going to talk about too is the hardness of this brush. So right now, it's just really soft. I'm going to go right here. And we're just going to kind of go like that to make it look a little bit better. No one's really going to know what the mountain looked like, right? So you can kind of create it a little bit differently. As long coming from this side over here, and I'm just going really fast too, so we can if I was doing this for real, I would go much slower, but I'm doing it fast so we can move on and you can see the next other things that this tool has to offer. Can't forget about his feet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get half the rock and half of like the gray. I'm just going to kind of click right there. Now this is just the rock. Oops. Just smooth that out a little bit. And I'm just doing Command minus, and that like zooms out of your picture. So right here, I feel like it could use some work a little bit, and maybe right there. But ultimately, he is missing. So one of the things that I want to show you right here, this is called your options bar. Right here is the size of the brush that we're using. You can make your size bigger or smaller by going up or down, right? So I come over here, then the size would be bigger. And this is your hardness. So I already put it down to 0, but I believe when you first open this up, your hardness is at 100%. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to take a sample down here. And then I'm going to come up into the sky. Okay, and that's at 80. My brush size is at 84. I'm going to take my hardness and I'm going to bring it all the way up to 100%. I'm not changing my size of my brush. I'm just changing the hardness. And then I'm going to come over here and click. So these two are the same, but see how, let me just go to the move tool here. So see how this blends into the picture where this does not, okay? So you want it at 0 because we want it to blend in, whereas this does not, okay? So that's the other thing I wanted to show you about the stamp tool.